As each year passes, Apple continues to push the limits of what portable computing can be. With their iPad Pro line, they've gradually transformed the tablet from a secondary screen into a powerhouse capable of replacing a laptop for many users. Now, in 2025, all attention is shifting toward what could be the most refined version yet, the iPad Pro powered by Apple's upcoming M5 chip. While earlier models like the M1 and M2 introduced Apple Silicon into the tablet space, and the M4 refined performance with the introduction of tandem OLED technology and slimmer design language, the next release isn't about revolution, it's about optimization and power. Here's everything we know, everything we expect, and why the iPad Pro with M5 may quietly redefine the upper tier of Apple's tablet lineup. Refining a powerhouse. The evolution of iPad Pro. Apple's design philosophy for the iPad Pro over the last several years has been crystal clear. Don't just create a bigger iPhone. Build a standalone computing device that integrates portability, elegance, and performance. The result has been an iPad that creatives, students, business professionals, and even developers rely on as their daily driver. In 2024, Apple dropped jaws with the launch of the M4 iPad Pro, featuring the ultra-thin chassis and dazzling tandem OLED display. That device wasn't just thinner, it felt like a vision of the future, color-accurate, responsive, and feather-light. The M5 iPad Pro builds on that vision not by making dramatic changes, but by layering in power where it matters most. The heart of the beast, Apple Silicon M5 The core of the upcoming iPad Pro is Apple's next-generation silicon, the M5 chip. Apple has been incrementally improving its processors with each generation, focusing on thermal efficiency, energy conservation, and boosted graphics capabilities. The M5 is expected to deliver all of that, but faster, cooler, and smarter. While official specifications haven't been released, it's safe to assume the M5 will bring enhanced GPU performance for real-time graphics rendering and advanced 3D workflows, improved machine learning acceleration to support on-device AI tasks, optimized energy usage to stretch battery life without compromising power, greater synergy. With iPad OS to unlock new multitasking and productivity features, the M5 chip likely continues Apple's tradition of using cutting-edge architecture, possibly a refined 3nm process, and a more unified memory structure to reduce latency across high-performance tasks. Visual excellence. Tandem OLED carries over in 2024. The tandem OLED display was a standout feature. For the first time, iPad Pro screens achieved a perfect balance of high brightness, stunning black levels, and ultra-fast response times. Apple has no reason to ditch this innovation anytime soon, and all indicators point to tandem OLED sticking around in the M5 generation. For digital artists, videographers, and photo editors, the screen quality matters just as much as processor, power, and here, Apple leads the industry. With Display P3 support, HDR certification, and adaptive refresh rates, the M5 iPad Pro's screen will likely be one of the most beautiful panels ever seen on a tablet. Design continuity, when form is already perfect. When the M4 model debuted with a significantly thinner chassis, some speculated whether the trend toward ultra-slim profiles had reached its peak. The design was not just sleek, it was engineering finesse at its best. Apple had managed to reduce thickness while improving thermal control and battery performance. With the M5, no major external redesign is expected. The ultra-thin aluminum enclosure, magnetic Apple Pencil dock, smart connector placement, and minimalist aesthetics will likely stay. Apple doesn't redesign for the sake of change. Instead, it refines what's working, ensuring long-term compatibility across accessories and software workflows. Performance for the pros. Whether you're creating an animation, rendering a 4K video, compiling Swift code, or working on digital art, the M5 will be built to serve high-performance demands. Apple's ongoing hardware-software optimization means apps like Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, and Adobe Creative Suite will benefit from the enhanced computational power of the M5. Gaming is another area likely to benefit. With iPad OS slowly embracing controller support and Apple pushing its Apple Arcade ecosystem, the M5's upgraded GPU should provide a console-like experience. Expect faster frame rates, smoother gameplay, and better thermal efficiency during extended play sessions. Battery efficiency. Big power, better stamina. Despite the increase in raw power, the M5 iPad Pro is expected to maintain, if not extend, battery life from the previous generation. Apple's architectural changes often focus on doing more with less, meaning the tablet will likely sip power during low-demand tasks, but spring into action when needed. All-day battery life has become a non-negotiable, standard in Apple devices, and the M5 model will no doubt follow suit. Expect around 10-12 hours of screen-on time under mixed usage, with optimized standby performance that ensures the device is ready even after days of inactivity. Storage, memory, and pricing expectations. Early industry forecasts indicate Apple will stick with its current tiered pricing model. We're likely to see 11-inch base model starting at $999, 13-inch variant starting around $1,299 to $1,499. Higher storage tiers, up to 2 TB for prosumers and creative professionals, RAM configurations will also likely mirror M4 offerings, starting at 8 GB and scaling up to 16 GB or more depending on storage and chip binning. With Apple pushing for unified memory and more apps, memory usage will feel snappier even when multitasking or working with large files. Launch window and production timeline. Based on multiple supply chain sources and analyst predictions, the M5 iPad Pro is likely entering its final validation and testing stages. Mass production is expected to begin in the second half of 2025, with a public launch window projected for late 2025 or early 2026. Of course, global logistics and supply chain disruptions could still affect the exact launch date. Advanced chip, fabrication, tandem OLED sourcing, and manufacturing capacity are all complex variables Apple will navigate carefully to avoid bottlenecks.